Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Welcome everyone to Saturday Satsang after many years, most likely many years. Some of you know that Satsangs initially started like this, where we would have one Satsang every 2 weeks, and it used to be on a Saturday. So this Saturday reminds me of that, those Satsangs long time ago. I don't feel like I've said anything new since then. What is here now is always more than enough. This is surrender. You can't make a picture about it. You can't make a concept about it. That which is this isness. It's more than enough. Taking care of what is. So the company of the truth, which is the definition of satsang, the company of the truth. Sat ka sang, company of the truth, is to remain with that which is, this is the truth. So that truth which cannot be visualized, which you cannot experience as a perception, and cannot be conceptualized or intellectualized, that already is here. It is here before you even try to experience it. Your trying come later. Easy. You are not even trying to be. You are just being. So this is prior even to being and not being, and yet not separate from being. So whether you are just trying or you are just like this, I give up. I experience it now, the truth. Or I can't do it, I give up. Before any of these postures, it just is. And this is very freeing, but to the mind can be very frustrating also. Actually, it is your ultimate freedom, that you just are it. You see? Suppose you spent your entire life trying to get into heaven or something, and then you got to know that this is already it. That's exactly the reaction. This can't be it. So if we have an idea about it, then it is not it. No idea can represent it. No painting, no picture, no visual can represent it. No experience represents it. And yet all of them are also it. So when you say it does not represent it, it means it cannot fully represent it or accurately represent it. Just like a fingernail cannot represent the entire body. Or the reflection in the mirror is not the actuality of the object, and yet it is it in a way. What other attempt can you make? So you can't visualize it, you can't think it up, you can't solve it. You can't perceive it. And yet everything that you visualize, imagine, think, perceive is also it. Then what? And it is you. You can say it, but even the saying of it can seem like there's some separation there, but it is you. What other type of effort can you make? Seek. You see, but seeking the experience of it or the perception of it, or like you're seeking the what of it. Like it, when it comes, when the seeking is over, will it appear? Will it be solved? Will you have the ultimate concept of it? Like what are we seeking of it? And besides these means, what are our means of seeking?
I would like to experience peace of mind all the time.
Peace of mind all the time. And what is the opposite of peace of mind?
Restlessness.
Yes. And what is the usual root of restlessness?
Identity.
Identity mixed with wanting, desire. You see? So I want peace of mind is also not peace of mind. I'm saying peace of mind is naturally here. You see? But I want peace of mind, it seems to be gone. But now? Yeah. But the idea that it will go away or it doesn't stay, and we were talking about this also. How we know any of this? that it will go because it has happened. You see? How can we confirm that any of that is true or valid? Can't really say. It is our certainties which keep us trapped in a way. You see. The one that is here, has something ever happened to it before? No. So you want to solve it for the mythical one. Without any version of truth. Yeah. Without any should or should not. Is there naturally a distinction present? Is duality inherent originally in this? Whether eyes are open or eyes are closed. You see? Without the label appearance and reality, is there such a dichotomy? Even the labels, real and unreal. duality is suffering. And Maharaj said something very beautiful. He said, you are not experiencing suffering, you are suffering your experiencing. So I'd like to take that further and say that you are not experiencing duality. You see? We are interpreting it as dual. You are not experiencing distinction. You are judging it to be separate. You are not even experiencing time and space. It is just a judgment you are making. It's a conclusion. You are not experiencing a me and another. It's only a conclusion, a notion. You are not experiencing a body and a world. You are judging your experiences to be body and the world. You are experiencing, but you are labeling that as body and outside the body. But where is the space of experiencing? Have you ever experienced anything outside of you? See, but even these statements can be used to make distinction. Yesterday we were talking about, and it's still a bit up in the air about whether it's Photoshop or whether we were talking about chameleon, you see, and what changes the colors of the chameleon once it's in a different environment. You see, thinking about it. Okay, I'm on green grass. Let me turn green. I know this is color green. Come on, green, not blue, green. Come. The bird is flying in the winter toward the north. As it's flying away, is it, I hope I'm flying north. I hope I'm flying. I hope this is not west. I said north, north, I tell you. Is it? But somehow we feel that unless we hold these ideas, we decide that this is it, this is true, this is untrue, this is right, this is wrong, this is how I should be, this is how I should not be. We feel like this life cannot function. If your heart had to stop, what notion could you have that will keep it pumping? Let's say kidneys. So something is functioning on its own in a very beautiful way, and it continues unsupported by and uninterrupted by our concepts of what should be and what should not be. Like this child was saying the other day that, Ananta, how many times do we have to go through this roller coaster, because we see clearly and then something seems to come back and that seems real, and then we see clearly nothing has ever happened. You see these kind of things. How many times up and down? So I said, this complaint, how many times does this up and down have to happen, is also part of the same roller coaster. In a way, it is part of the same unfolding. Sometimes it looks as if you're trying to solve it. You just feel like boom, pow. Yeah. And it's okay to try and solve it, because a tired intellect is very auspicious for Satsang. You get tired of the hows, the whys, the whens, the whats, the whos. Who am I is very good, of course. Doesn't need my endorsement on it. Because your discovery or your recognition, you will never be able to put that into an answer. You see? You will never be able to capture that with your intellect. You'll never be, in a way, able to understand it. Because what we call understanding usually means that we feel like we have a valid concept about it. That is my understanding of it. So as this intellect gets tired, why, and you never find a valid answer to this why. You get some placebos from time to time. You take this medicine, you'll be fine. But there is no real why. Just like there's no real when. Just like there's no real who. Say it. Don't understand.
Yeah. What do you mean by real when?
When? Like there's no real when. Like I was saying the other day, I don't know, maybe yesterday, presumably. That
Okay, got it.
but the question was, how do you know this is not a memory? how do you know this conversation, which seems so alive at this moment, it itself is not a memory? What can we really say about time? I was expecting more of a question about, I don't get what you mean when you say there is no real who. That's what we are after, no? The real who. So I was expecting a complaint about that. But when is also good.
I have a complaint about space.
Space? Space?
Yeah, you said there is no space.
You can fit a few more.
I don't understand what you
Okay,
say.
let's see. What do you mean by, okay, what do you mean by space?
I assume that there is some space between this and the body.
Yeah, you assume it, yes. That's all I'm saying.
So, what is it? How? There is no space between those two objects?
Let's say if I put a special lens on your eyes, okay, just speaking,
Yeah.
I'm not speaking in these terms, but just to illustrate. I put a lens in your eye and I project through a computer some images on that,
Mm-hmm.
you see? And they're just images on your eye,
Mm-hmm.
and you're actually seeing two people, you see? But because they're so nicely done, you feel like two people are sitting in front of you, with just lens stuck in your eye. So what is the space between those two people and your eye?
So everything appears on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that this is to illustrate metaphorically, you see, but we can't even conclude that this is what is happening. Like there is a screen in that way. Like when you wake up from the dream, do you think that the dream was projected on like a
No.
screen? Is it?
No.
So where was it? How much space is there between you and the dream? Or a big mountain in the dream. How far from it is you? From you is it? Imagine a tree right now, which is really far. It's becoming further and further.
Yes, okay.
Okay, and how far is it actually now?
Now, if I open my eyes,
No, even then. So although it might seem like visually, perceptually to get further, you see, can we conclude really, what is the basis for a real conclusion that yes, there is space? You see, because where is the tree? How far from you was it? Even though it might seem to get smaller, 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 really far. Where did it go actually?
I don't know, I don't even know where in me a dream appears
Exactly,
or appears.
exactly. And this is what I'm saying, that we cannot know in this way. And so I know our attempt is always to go from first standard to second standard to third standard to graduation to all of these things like that, you see. But the thing is that all that is important is that we become uncertain about these, and we don't need to come to new certainties. You see? So we don't need to be able to conclude that okay, that is a dream and that is where it happens. It is enough to say I don't know where it is actually. You see? You see? Because, and I know that is more uncomfortable. If you are replacing one certainty with another certainty, greater certainty, it is all in consciousness. You see? Like that. Like where is the tree? Just in consciousness. You see? Like that. But if I say, just allow yourself to remain uncertain about it. You see? And in a way, this is what Maharaj was talking about when he said integrity. We have so many certainties, but when we start investigating them, we actually start to get a bit uncomfortable. You see? Because it feels scary to us to not know. Like, I don't even know. You see? If I tell you, okay, you are not the body, but you are this. You see? And this could be whatever, a nice label. You see, consciousness, God, self, the absolute. You see? But if I say to you, you're not the body, and what you really are, you cannot conceptualize. You see? There seems to be some stress in that. Like some stress in that. The stress of being uncertain. And if there's such a term I can use, this is an auspicious stress. It is an auspicious tension. Because there is nothing that does a nice clean up job like this one does. If you start looking at your certainties and just investigating them with full integrity, you will see that it's all made up. Even the great Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj said this. All I started to lose were my certainties. To the mind, it's like crazy. And all those scary images it will give you, that you will become a crazy person, begging on the roads. But you're not certain about that also. If you were certain that that was the case, you could create some contingency and say, come on, in 2 years I will be like a crazy beggar on the streets, so just guys, take care. But you don't know these things. Even these things you cannot be certain about. So, openness, surrender, or in a way, what Bhagavan used to call this dry gunpowder, or ripeness in a way, is just this. Can you stand being uncertain? Or do you have to rush to conclude? Even like a conclusion like, yeah, I am good with uncertainty. You want to play like this? All of you can say one thing that you feel you're completely certain about. Maybe I should have started like that. Because a lot of spiritual certainties would have come up. You see, even now my feeling is, if you were to just play like this, my feeling is a lot of spiritual concepts will come up. All I can say is that I am here. Like that. So, I'm just certain I am here. This I is who? You see? Here is what? And what is am? What does it mean to be? Not one word we know, and just this short certainty, I am here. You see? Are you certain you are in a room? And then you check, where am I? Yeah. I am not an object. And room is a big object which contains other smaller objects. How can an object contain a non-object? You see? So because of spirituality also, we have a lot of now spiritual dichotomy. You see? Yeah. Are you in this room? Yeah. But, okay, so who are you? I am not an object. That much I have seen now, many times. You see? But in this room contains only objects. Is it too much? Then you would say, the objective aspect of me is just a part. You see? A part of me. Okay, what if it is a part of you, it must connect with you in some way. How does it connect? What is the point of connection? So any of our concepts, as beautiful as they might sound, when investigated, they fall. If the phenomenal aspect, as we ourselves have called it for many years, is an aspect of you, therefore a part of you, how does something phenomenal connect with non-phenomenal? So we don't know these things. So their usefulness is just to the extent of shaking you out of your existent certainties. Really? I keep referring to that beautiful passage we read the other day, and I might be completely misquoting it or paraphrasing it badly, but this is what I feel to say at the moment, which is that the sage said we are so used to rushing back to our nest of intellectual and mental certainty that it doesn't feel good when we are out of it. You see, push beyond it. But actually that is the most auspicious, that is your opportunity. So if you come to satsang and you just feel like, but I am not understanding anything, what is he even saying? See? We're used to taking these things as bad news because we hate to be in a classroom like that. I'm just sitting in this class and he's going on saying something, but I'm not understanding anything. But you're giving yourself some time to be empty of a mental understanding, which itself is a rarity in this world. Before you rush back to your intellectual nest, is the resting place which is in your mental conclusions. Use at least this opportunity which is in satsang. See, to float. Even if it feels like falling or flying, whatever, doesn't matter. Observe the tendency to try and hold on to a branch. Some branch, something. Yeah.
How is that different from the attitude of giving up? Giving up or just
Because in giving up you know that you have given up.
being indifferent to it?
Yeah, because indifference and giving up is a conclusion. Is it? Like, I tried and I give up. See, it's still a conclusion. What does it mean? Suppose you made that conclusion. What does it mean? It gives you a position. No? I give up means I'm not going to understand anyway. You see, I'm never going to get this freedom thing. So although it can feel like it is empty of conclusion, it's full of conclusion. I'm not going to get it. I'm never going to understand. You see, so it becomes a comfortable resting place also. And for many it has happened in satsang over the years. Either that I got it or that I give up. I will never get it. You see, both are just branches. Okay, so let me say it another way. What's happening with you now?
I'm just perceiving things.
Are you certain about that? That all that is happening with you is that you're perceiving things?
More than that. It's just
Okay, are you certain it is more than that, not less than that? You see, this example I'm taking illustratively to show that how we feel that we must have a conclusion. Like, what's happening with me, I must know what is happening. Actually, and if you were to do this for 1 hour also, we can look through all our conclusions and we'll say, no, I can't really say that. I can't conclusively say that. You see, I can say that, but it doesn't really capture the entirety of truth. You see? You want to try again? You see? It's just like this. That so, what would giving up mean? We don't even know. Like we have an idea that it would mean this, that. Now we will stop coming to satsang, but you don't know. Once you give up, maybe you were just naturally finding it easier to inquire because you're not burdening it with so many expectations. Or you would fly to California or something. We don't know. And we are not even certain about being uncertain. How do we get this tool called intellect to not be our sole representative lawyer for reality? What else can you refer to? Huh? What else can you refer to represent reality? Let me help you. The heart. Yes, yes. Good. What is the heart saying? So this intuitive insight, I was going to say, okay, let's start with perception. Perception represents reality completely. Then all that rope and snake, mirage in the desert, silver and mother of pearl, all these examples. Then perception, many things are perceived, many realms are perceived, many experiences are had, but we also label them this and that, a daydream, memory, imagination, dream, waking, all these things. What are the other tools we can have to represent reality? Okay.
Represent.
Represent means give you an accurate version of it. Then it would be a
form.
A form. A form. And reality cannot be a form? Huh? Huh? Nitya viveka. The changing cannot be real. That's what you're referring to?
Yeah.
The changing cannot be real. So why can't it be real? You said that it is just form, and therefore you were implying that that cannot be real. So I'm just prodding a bit further and saying what you referring to. Why a form cannot be real? And often I say that it's okay. I'm not debunking the conclusion. I'm just prodding further. The question is gone. Yeah.
You would have to have a reference for you to say it's real.
Yes.
Because you're implying something is unreal.
Yes. Yes. Even to imply something is real and unreal, as you often do in Advaita Vedanta, but I'm just questioning what is that reference that we use. And can even a reference like this be worthy of a claim like this is like an ultimate truth or something like that. We don't know. We are not certain. And it's good to see this, because otherwise, like for centuries, the Advaitins themselves have debated among themselves about what Maya is, whether it is real or unreal. So they have some 15 different schools in Advaita Vedanta, all debating whether Brahman, Jiva and Jagat, what is the actual qualitative distinctions between them, which is the absolute, the seeming individualized consciousness and the appearance of the world. What is the substantive distinction between any of them? There are so many different schools of thought about this. And just the fact that they've been debating this for thousands of years, it is not easy to draw a conclusion.
It's a debate in form.
Huh?
Debates of form.
Yes. Whether form itself is real or unreal. So Bheda, Abheda and Abheda, these are just three of the schools, but you also have Shuddha Advaita Vedanta, Keval Advaita Vedanta. There are many other schools, all debating about the absolute versus this that seems to appear. Now, even this distinction, if you did not refer to your intellect, how would you make? That's why I'm asking fundamentally whether inherent in even your perceptual experiencing there is any distinction.
As you and what you are perceiving.
Yes. Is this distinction I and this is what I'm perceiving? Is this inherent in the nature of perception itself, or in you, or even is this distinction even valid? Is this object saying I'm separate from you, I'm separate from you, I'm separate from you, you are perceiving me, you are perceiving? You see, what is the inherent distinction? Like often I say, you have to make it, exactly. How you make it?
You have to see it that way.
In your seeing of it also it is not made. That's what I'm saying. In your perceiving of it also it is not made. In your labeling of it is made. You see? Like a child is seeing. Is he saying, I am in these hands but I am not in the space between them? You see? It is only our minds full of knowledge make this kind of conclusions. So even in the natural, and some sages have called it the pure perception, this distinction is not made. It is only in our perception mixed with our labels, our interpretations, our judgments, that seeming duality seems to arise.
When you use the word perception, are
Yes.
you referring to the senses, sight?
Yes, I'm including these, but not just...
The activity of labeling is not part of it.
Yes, the activity of labeling, I'm not labeling that as part of perception at the moment. Is it? So you can try it out, like perceive in this room, without labels, and don't worry for a moment or two on, oh, but the labels happen automatically. Don't worry about all that. Just naturally perceive everything. Where are you not? Or where are you? Where is your boundary? In natural perception, is there something like that? The notion of boundary is not there only. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki
Jai. Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam.